All men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights.
Life, liberty, and the pursuit of
If liberty means anything at all, it means the right to tell people what they do not want to hear.
Make America great again.
The Big Mig.
All right, welcome back to the Big Mig Show. Here with your host, George Ballantine. Lance is having some tech issues. I don't know when he's going to be in, if he will be, but whatever. You got me. We don't need Lance, right? No, he should be in shortly, but we'll see what happens. Tip of the spear, baby. Tip of the spear. And, you know, our old truth saying, if liberty means anything at all, it means a right to tell people what they do not want to hear. And a lot of people, they don't want to hear it or can't handle the truth. Too bad. That's what we do on the show. That's what we're going to keep doing. You know, they say don't talk about Epstein, right? We're told don't talk about Epstein. But guess what? We keep talking about Epstein. And every day more shit comes out, more revelations. And you know what? You thought with this administration and the picks that Trump picked that we'd be in good shape. We're not. Ain't looking good. They're still hiding stuff. We had people in the FBI. We thought, you know, we're going to do the right thing, but one left and one's still there, but they didn't do it. They're still hiding stuff. We're going to talk about that. We're going to get to that. But you know what? I got to give a shout out to our sponsor. Hold on, because I'm doing production. I'm doing everything today. The Prepper Bar. We all know this one, right? 62.2 gram Prepper bars. They're perforated, easily broken down into your choice of 3 different denominations to fit a multiple of needs. So whether it be for asset protection or from inflation, economic turmoil, or its unique utility for barter and trade, these Prepper bars makes a perfect gift for all the precious metal lovers out there. Now, they're exclusively made in the USA and they're selling out fast. They're available both in gold and silver. These slim pepper bars fit neatly in your wallet, and their utility enables use in any situation. A lot of fake gold going out there in silver, so don't buy it from anywhere else. These are made in the USA. You use the promo code PREPPER, PREPPER. You get a discount for the gold and silver. Just go to the bigmigbar.com. I'm going to make it simple. Just go there. Everything's there for you. The bigmigbar.com. I got the QR code right in the screen. Take a screenshot. Save it to your photo files. And you go there. Hold on. I'm bringing Lance in. He's back. Let me bring him in. All right. Now I ain't singing because I got too much going on.
Yeah, sorry about that, guys. One of the cameras wasn't picking up. I don't know why. We had a problem with our one spot camera here in the studio, so I had to reset everything. I tried to fix it, and then I had to just reset.
Did you update it?
So, I don't know. No,
that's a no. Not. And there's been like a couple updates that you probably missed out on.
Maybe. All right. Well, listen. Anyway, it is what it is. You know, I guess that's technology. Don't always keep up with it. George does a better job than I do with that, but there it is. All right. So, George, what's going on, brother?
No, I'm busy trying to
trying
to finish out your shots.
Yeah, well, of course, there's lots going on as always. The longer it goes, the more that comes out. What am I talking about? I'm talking about the Epstein files. Interesting stuff. More and more people are discovering more information. There was also some documents that allegedly got leaked. Some people are blaming Israel, something to do with Donald Trump. I haven't seen them. I don't know how relevant they are. I don't even know if it's factual. And that's part of the problem. There's a lot of stuff out there that you have to filter through. People creating fake documents to undermine the credibility of the real documents. And I'm starting to wonder if it's intentional. I'm starting to wonder if, in fact, they're doing that to try to undermine what really is being discovered here. What's being discovered is that this administration should be arresting lots of people, and they're not. It's also bringing into question the credibility of the FBI in a lot of ways. We're going to cover much of that today. But no surprise in what happened in court, or I guess I shouldn't say in court, in front of Congress. Maxwell took the fifth. I'm not really surprised that she did that. I can't blame her for refusing to answer questions. There's really no reason to cooperate because there isn't any kind of a deal on the table for her. So why should she help? Although she is the pivotal piece, she's got more information than anybody else because she was in the middle of all of it. And a lot of people are saying, she was working as Jeffrey Epstein's pimp for years and years and years. Now, my take is that the DOJ knew they were running girls as young as 12, but they refused to act. And I think a lot of it had to do with with Epstein's connections and even Maxwell's connections to intelligence organizations, the Mossad, the CIA. We know that now that there was a lot of cooperation going on there. She was also great friends with Bill Clinton for obvious enough reasons. I'm sure she was providing lots of great services for Bill Clinton. We know what's on his mind. And here's another one. George, why haven't Hillary and Bill been arrested for contempt?
Because where you been, bro? They made an agreement. They're coming in. They worked it all out. This is like last week, I think.
Well, I get that. But at the end of the day, they still committed contempt. It doesn't change the fact that they committed a crime, even though they tried to negotiate their way out of it. If you had done it, you would have been arrested, even if you agreed to testify after the fact.
Most likely. I would have been locked up. Just like Bannon, Lance. You got to take over. I got to change something. Well,
Steve Bannon, we'll cover some of that, but it looks like that rabbit hole is getting really deep. A lot of people are going after him, not just Roger Stone. I saw another article today about his involvement with gaming. I saw something about a hot tub that was full of acid. People are alleging it was used to cook meth. I don't know if it's true. Some of that stuff is just even hard to wrap your head around. I just don't get it. Now, you talk about, Maxwell was facing a potential of 65 years. She was found guilty on 5 of the 6 counts in 21. But of course, this is her entire process or her involvement from 1994 to 2004 as Epstein's madam. The prosecutors asked for 30 to 55 years, which would have been a life sentence for her being 60 years old as she is. But the judge handed down a 20-year sentence. But in the federal system, that's probably close to a life sentence. In her case, she has to serve 83 or 85% of her sentence. It's not like the state system where she could get, her sentence moved down or she could get released early for good behavior. Fed doesn't really work like that. They give you a very small amount of good time. You don't really get any breaks. But less than an hour into the deposition, now my understanding is that behind the scenes, she's trying to negotiate terms for herself and that she's willing to give them all the information they want, assuming that she gets her sentence either commuted or some kind of a break from Donald Trump. There's some emails about how Donald Trump really feels about her. We'll cover that also today, but I don't know. James Comer looks extremely disappointed, but I don't know how he could have expected anything different. Congress wasn't offering anything. All they did was subpoena her to testify, which the only benefit might have been that maybe her attorney bought her some fast food or something while they were in transit. But they probably
no. They did. She did it from the prison.
Oh, did she?
She did it virtually.
Oh, interesting.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, I didn't know that.
Here's another thing. She said. Mm-hmm. She pleaded the fifth, which I don't blame her. I would do the same thing. But she also said if she gets clemency from Trump, she'll prove that he's innocent, had nothing to do with anything. We don't need you to do that. We see it in the files and everything. We know he didn't do anything. It shows that he didn't do anything. Nice try there, Ghislaine Maxwell. That would be a big mistake for Trump to do any kind of clemency, anything with that broad. Anything. You should just stay away from her. Let this all play out. Maybe it was all part of his plan, expose the Democrats, but Lance, you were
yeah, but is the FBI going to do their job in that same process?
You were fixing your camera, and I was saying, we had high hopes for this administration and the people that Trump picked, and as you see that they're still redacting stuff, now stuff is being exposed. It's like, what happened to these guys? Or women, too.
You mean exposed that the FBI is asking questions about redacting people's names that shouldn't be part of the redaction?
All the stuff. There's so much crap. They're continuously hiding stuff from us. They're getting caught up. And we had high hopes for this administration and the people he picked to put in these positions. One took off less than a year. All right, whatever. Now he's back on Fox News, by the way. Contributor. The other one is like, listen, I liked him. He got a great fucking book, but he's not even going by his book. You wrote a book to format to how what needs to be done, how it needs to be done, but you're not even going by. Maybe we should send him a copy of his own fucking book, Lance. Seriously. I'll sign it. You could sign a Big Mig Show. We had high hopes for you, bro. What do we do anymore? What are we doing? It's crazy. I told you February. I'm going to start calling people out. It's February. I mean, nothing's getting done.
I don't know why you're waiting until February.
Because I want to give him the benefit of the doubt.
What benefit of the doubt? Here we are.
Listen, Lance, I told you the benefit of the doubt what I wanted to give him.
Epstein is over. How can it be over with everything that's in here?
I'm not talking about Epstein. I'm talking about benefit of the doubt of everything they were doing. That they had to reinvestigate, redo interviews and all that. So I gave them enough time to do it. They had enough time. Do you know that the DOJ arrested a woman for voter fraud? She wasn't supposed to vote, or it was illegal or something. Whoop-de-fucking-do. You arrested one woman. Woo! What about all those people in Georgia that committed voter fraud? And that knowingly and willingly helped in it? Well, let's go to Arizona. Let's go to Wayne County, Michigan. I mean, we can keep going on and on and on. They got that one person. Whoop-de-fucking-do. Crazy. You know, Lance, like Comer, they're all talking about this, about the deposition of Maxwell. And they all want to see the names that are, they want them unredacted. Mm-hmm. I mean, okay. They got to see them, right?
Talking about the names that aren't victims, correct?
Yeah, I'm not talking about victims. Okay. We don't need to know victims. The victims need to be safe and secure and kept out of this because they're victims, and I feel for them. And it's up to their own will if they want to release their names and whatever, the victims, I'm saying. But as far as, we don't need to know the victims. We need to know the people we need to know the fucking predators. So now they're sitting down. He's talking about all this, the whole House Oversight Committee. It's a short clip, but I don't know. My question is, why did they even bring Maxwell? They knew what she was going to do. It's going to be the same shit. It's just like bringing the Clintons in for deposition. You think they're going to find anything new with them? I don't think so. Do you?
Like I said a few minutes ago, I don't think we need to wait till February. I think they've made it very clear that they're not going to prosecute any of the big names. They're going to ignore the proof in the Epstein files, and they're going to give people a pass. There's lots of extremely wealthy people, government officials, well-connected individuals, celebrities. None of them are facing charges.
Wait a minute. Susie Johns. Why is Maxwell in prison? Sex trafficking? ? To whom?
Yeah, it's a good question.
She helped recruit the girls, manipulate them.
That was. I think she was trying to be somewhat sarcastic. Because how can you be in jail for sex crimes and trafficking?
I don't know.
If there aren't any people that trafficked, you get it? If there aren't any of the people that actually did the trafficking, I feel like she was taking. And I agree with her. I think she's right. I think she's making a statement. And she's stating the obvious, but obvious enough that it should be clear that there are lots of people that should be arrested that participated in this trafficking. And it just seems like, no, we're just not going to do it. And James Comer, this is typical though. Congress really has no bite in the dog. They can't do much about the fact that she doesn't want to testify unless she gets a deal. And my guess is this administration is not going to give her a deal. Because she could pull back the entire.
He better not give a deal. I mean, that'd be crazy if he did.
If that's the holdup for pulling the entire curtain back, then my suggestion would be do whatever you have to do. But at the end of the day, if that's not what it's about, if it's not about giving her a deal to pull the curtain back, then is it giving her a deal to keep her quiet? I don't know. I'm starting to really question a lot of things. I think there's just too much of this, and there's too much ignoral. And they want to prosecute regular citizens for these identical crimes all over the nation. But it seems like when you're a person in a position of power or extremely wealthy or a public figure or a celebrity, you get the pass.
All right, I'm
tired of those people.
Let's play this Columber clip because you got so much stuff here. It's crazy. Let me play it.
As expected, Ghislaine Maxwell took the fifth and refused to answer any questions. This is obviously very disappointing. We had many questions to ask about the crimes she and Epstein committed, as well as questions about potential co-conspirators. We sincerely want to get to the truth of the American people and justice for the survivors. That's what this investigation is about.
But then, you know, you got to say, why did all these people hating on Thomas Massie, right, Lance? I mean, he's just trying to, I think, expose everything. But everybody's coming after him. But he was, he's saying they want to go after the men who Jeffrey Epstein trafficked women to. We want those names published. And they're talking about the men, the one co-conspirators. And he's saying there's at least 6 men that were redacted in the Epstein files. This is coming from Reps Massie and Kahana. Like he's saying, one of them is a high up in the foreign government. I want to know. I want to know. I want to know
who's trying to expose the truth, and that's the disgusting part. Here's a guy that wants to expose the truth, and they're stopping him at every turn. I mean, we've got an FBI director that's not doing what he should be doing because these people committed crimes. So did the Dirty 51+8. So did the people that did the Russian collusion. So did the people in the J6 committee. And I just don't see Pam Bondi or the FBI making arrests. And now we've got the FBI complicit, what we're going to cover in the show. Go ahead and play the clip, George.
You got it, Lance.
How much new information then did you see that was unredacted, or did it look pretty similar to what we've seen publicly?
I mean, what we're after is the men who Jeffrey Epstein trafficked women to. We want those names published. We're not out to embarrass people. And the problem is we went in there hoping to see that in 302 forms. What we found out is those 302 forms were redacted before they got to the DOJ. So, but our legislation directs the FBI, which is the agency that produced those 302 forms, to also produce these documents. The Attorney General is ultimately responsible for that production, so that's why we're here at the DOJ to view these files. But there needs to be more information given in those 302s. So I was disappointed we didn't find that. But it's also clear, just sort of as a checking their homework, that they need to do a little more homework. There are 6 men. We went in there for 2 hours. There's millions of files, right? And in a couple of hours, we found 6 men whose names have been redacted who are implicated in the way that the files are presented. And finally, the documents that they put up and decided for one reason or another they had to take back down, I was hoping to see those here. They didn't appear to be in the database that we were able to search. Those ostensibly are wholly redacted files now. We know they exist. They published them for a brief period of time and pulled them back. They need to answer to us as to do they intend to redact those files and put them back up and put them in the database so that we can search them and see if it was appropriate to take them back down from the website.
Are these men U.S. citizens? What fields do they work in? Is it finance? Is it political?
At least one is a U.S. citizen. At least one is a foreigner. And the other 3 or 4 have names. I'm not sure if they're foreign or U.S.
And which field do they work in? Is it finance, banking, political?
One is pretty high up in the foreign government.
And some are there. One of the others is a pretty prominent individual. But I think that the point is that these 6 are just what we found in 2 hours of a review of the files that aren't redacted. The broader issue is why so many of the files they're getting are redacted in the first place. And until that becomes unredacted, the main things that they're sending to the career attorneys to review, I don't think we're going to have full compliance with the law, get to the question that most Americans want to know. Who were the rich and powerful people who went to this island? Did they rape underage girls? Did they know that underage girls were being paraded around? And after seeing this, I don't blame the U.S. attorneys, the assistant U.S. attorneys reviewing it. If they're reviewing redacted material, what are they supposed to do? But they're getting, it seems like, material that's already been redacted.
All right. Who's Lex Wexner? Guess what? After Massie viewed the unredacted files and pushed for transparency, Guess what? The DOJ is now unredacted. Not only this billionaire Les Wexner's name, but other ones. Again, Lance. He comes in as a co-conspirator. He was actually the founder of L Brand's parent company, Victoria's Secret. He gave listen to this. He gave Epstein power of attorney over his finances and gifted him this large private home in Manhattan. Interesting. Well, it gets more.
Yeah, there was a lot of weird stuff when it came to Victoria's Secret and Epstein taking over, George. It was really strange. And in fact, this is when Victoria's Secret tanked, when Epstein was running it. It looked like what he did was bilk as much money out of it as possible. Because I don't think Epstein ever made any legitimate money. I think everything Epstein did was always about bribery, corruption, coercion, insider trading, and any way he could scam people out of money once he compromised it. I think Wexner was compromised. And again, that's an allegation.
So after Massie speaking out, the DOJ just unredacted 18 more co-conspirators. Most of these names on the left were redacted. This just came out, I believe, this morning.
What are the names, George? Anybody that really stands out that you recognize?
No. I don't.
But that's the point.
To you?
They were only supposed to. I have not seen that list, and I can't see it on screen. It's too small, and it wasn't in Notion. So, oh wait, there it is in Notion. Let's see. I apologize. My mistake.
Yeah, it's all right. I mean,
let me look.
I don't recognize any
names.
So
no, I do not recognize anything other than Epstein and Maxwell. But here's the point. They were only supposed to redact victims. Why is anything getting redacted that isn't a victim? If these aren't victims, then why were they redacted at all? And how is it that they're getting, George, pre-redactions before it goes for redaction? Well, who's in charge of this? I mean, how are they making these decisions?
Why are they redacting former U.S. presidents and Secretary of State and high-profile celebrities? Because
it's a cover-up.
Here's another one.
Well, this is a big deal. Let's talk about this for a minute. This is the FBI on record protecting, not like you just said, former U.S. President, Secretary of State, and high-profile celebrities. But it's the way it's worded, George. This is incredible. It basically is saying, and if you want to read what's there in the highlighted area, it basically says that they're asking questions about what they're supposed to be redacting and should they be redacting these high-profile individuals. Now, how does the FBI have any confusion about redactions? And why are they suggesting should they be redacting these presidents, Secretary of States, and celebrities, which, by the way, I guess they have been redacted because we haven't seen those names listed other than Bill Clinton, which we already knew he was in there. And they're saying presidents, plural. So who are they talking about? And George, why is the FBI even asking questions like this?
I know. Past presidents? Barack Hussein Obama, Bill Clinton, possibly Bush, maybe.
Yeah.
Just saying. Just saying.
And I think that's a valid take on it. But my argument again is, how is it the FBI has any confusion in who's supposed to be redacted? It was supposed to be victims only. Why is this even a discussion? So here they are telling you what they're going to do. See, this is the whole thing. I heard we were going to close down the FBI building and we were going to shut down the FBI, maybe start from scratch. Clearly, we haven't done that. And this is the problem. This administration made us a lot of promises, as did many individuals in there, and they are not living up to their promises. I'm not saying there aren't good men and women in the FBI, but I'm saying there's a lot of holdovers and there's a lot of people that think they're above the law. I saw some stuff that Patrick Byrne posted this morning about a post when they had stopped these ballots from going to get shredded, and Department of Homeland Security had shown up. They actually stopped the ballots from getting shredded. And then the FBI showed up and said, no, go ahead and take these to shred and then to burn. Now, explain to me why they had any of those ballots burned. All ballots were supposed to be maintained. And that was the FBI's decision. And that's coming from Patrick Byrne. He's pretty credible. He doesn't make a lot of mistakes when he says things. Listen, I remember the story. He reposted everything that happened with it. But this is the FBI we're supposed to be able to trust, and I don't think they can be trusted.
Well, Lance, it's funny that you fucking say that, because this is the same FBI. This is really fucked up. Crazy. They say when exposing a crime is treated as committing a crime, you are being ruled by criminals. That's a quote from Edward Snowden. So the FBI, you said what? They quietly poured roughly 1 million to overtime hours for all this stuff? Well, guess what? This document I'm showing right here, there's a newly released document, shows an FBI agent removed a hard drive from the jail's camera system, wiping all the footage from the night Epstein died. What the fuck is that about? How is that even possible?
So I think
no accountability,
no video, no record, no accountability. They didn't lose the evidence, guys. They erased it. And they did it intentionally because I guess the prison had warned them, George, that if they removed the drive without having already made a copy, it would erase the data. Crazy. So what did they do? They made sure the data was erased. Why did they do that? I'm starting to have my own beliefs of why. But it makes us now. I guess what's interesting is the accountability of other countries. We see a lot of the royals in the UK suffering consequences for their involvement with Epstein, George, and even Norway's making moves.
I know, right? How is that possible that they're doing this and we can't get nothing? I mean, it's crazy. Norway,
I guess they're better than the FBI. I guess they do a better job than the FBI.
So Norway charged their ex-ambassador and her husband with corruption. This is one day after she resigned in disgrace over being implicated in Epstein files. 1 day. And she's charged and arrested. And her husband. What do we got over here in the United States of America? We got fucking ungats. There's going to be, you know what, Lance? I think there's going to be more coming from Norway. You know what my mom said?
Yeah.
She goes, the fucking queen needs to step down. I was telling her about the queen and stuff, you know, like calling Jeffrey Epstein for advice for her son and how she's implicating all that. She's like,
I mean, this is crazy.
Step down.
That Jewel is named in the file 33 times. So I guess just resigned in disgrace as Norway's ambassador to Jordan and Iraq on Sunday. I mean, but there we are. At least they're resigning. At least there's some kind of accountability coming out of Norway. But yet here, oh no, we got no victims. It's all a scam. It's a leftist hoax or whatever the hell they're calling it now. I mean, it's pretty incredible what's going on here.
Yeah.
And it looks like even in Norway, they've opened an investigation to clarify whether these were criminal acts and have occurred. So they're going to investigate for criminal acts. Why can't the FBI investigate for criminal acts? Now, I want to tell you that there's a lot of people online. I don't know what's true. We definitely don't know for sure. But there are a lot of things that are making us go, that doesn't make any sense. And on the show, we always talk about common sense. According to the Bureau of Prisons medical records, Jeffrey Epstein had been transferred out of the prison the night he died to an external hospital.
Wait. Something doesn't add up. Go ahead. I'm going to let you pop. I'm going to let you let it rip, bro.
So through FOIA, somebody got 101 pages of medical files that were dated 8/10/2019 through, and they ran it all through AI. Now, again, let me preface this. It's really tricky. AI is programmed by people. Don't assume that everything you get is accurate. But what this person did is uncanny. So the AI confirmed he was indeed transferred out. So if you guys remember 4chan and Reddit leaked posts on 8/10/2019 made a lot of sense. It was supposedly a Bureau of Prisons person. Let me just set this up, George, and then you'll follow. So this Bureau of Prisons person supposedly went on to Reddit and 4chan and talked about they saw Epstein being transferred out in a wheelchair right before he unalived himself, right before the alleged suicide, which, by the way, medical examiners have looked at Epstein and they say that it looked like the choking on the neck, this is the claim, wasn't done by hanging. It would have been done with something typical of being choked with a wire or a garrote or something else pulled from behind. Now, again, those are just medical examiner reports. So this is the Bureau of Prisons document that shows the transfer. So they announced his death. George, what date did they announce the death on? Was it August? August what?
His death? Well, guess what? Here. I have the paper right here to show you, Lance. What does that say there? It says August 9th. Well, Lance, there's a problem. What is the problem, Lance? There's something wrong here. Tell me what the problem is, please.
Well, this is the document from the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Southern District of New York. Now, you know how I feel about the DOJ on the show. I feel like they are a compromised institution and they can't be trusted. There's a number of reasons I feel like that. I've covered some of it on the show. I'll go to my grave saying that, and I have my own beliefs for things that happened to me and things that have happened to
Lance,
many.
when did he die?
August 10th, 2019.
But the letter says the 9th.
The Department of Justice says the 9th. Now, could it just be sloppy work? I guess. But do you think that the Department of Justice would be sloppy in an announcement? How did they know on August 9th that Jeffrey Epstein was going to die on August 10th? I guess they're psychic, George. Now, this is the picture of Epstein on the gurney, allegedly Epstein. People have used facial recognition software and said that's not Epstein. Why are they saying it? Because of the nose and because of the ear. Now, as you age, your nose and ears change. But this was done very close together. This isn't an aging thing. The next image, you can see the difference in the ear and the nose. This is Epstein dead, Epstein alive. Now, the ears don't change. They might thicken, but they don't change. Noses can change somewhat. But now in the next image...
Wait, the nose ain't changing like that, bro, that much.
Yeah, I agree.
No way.
I agree. Now, take a look at the ear, George, how different the shape of the ear is for the person on the gurney. Do those look like the same ear to you?
Nope.
Okay, so why am I bringing this up? There's a photo that was released that I have in a folder on Epstein. I've got lots of stuff in there. There's a photo from an overhead, and this was an overhead of Epstein Island after Epstein's death. Now, for a lot of people out there, you know, you could say, oh, it's a bad angle. It was taken with a drone. Somebody was surveilling Epstein Island thinking nobody would be there, and they caught this image on the drone. Now, that caretaker, everybody knows the caretaker on the ATV. The other individual has an uncanny resemblance to Epstein. Maybe Epstein had an employee that looked just like him.
You know, I would think that if Epstein, you know, was able to get out of the prison, he's not dead, that he wouldn't go to the island.
I would think that too. But I guess if you think you're untouchable, maybe you don't have those kind of concerns.
He knows how do you think you're untouchable when you're sitting in prison? That's not being untouchable. But,
well, the point was by the time he was released, and why was he released? Was it the Mossad? Was it the CIA? Was it the current administration of that time period? I don't know, George. I don't have the reasoning, but these next documents are just, this person ran everything through AI. And it says, you know, he was supposed to be in BOP custody. The transfer happened on 8/10 to the inmate local hospital transfer, has a transfer date of 8/10 with health problems and active medication listed. And so here he is. He's not being said, what it says on the report, it doesn't say he's suicide or he's dead. It says with health problems. They gave him the active medication list, and he was being transferred out. So this is interesting, and this is an analysis by AI. He's recorded as having no vaccines administered in BOP and history unknown for the major immunization. But that's 25 minutes after the document said he was transferred. The dates and the times don't match. He suicided himself after the transfer. Now, they go into some of the details about resuscitation once that date changes and time changes. So the packet that was shared with this FOIA request doesn't mention his death at all. It does include an emergency resuscitation event describing him as unresponsive in his cell with circumferential bruising around the neck, CPR in progress. But again, the time doesn't match. Now, here's the 4chan document where this guy closing that he got moved out in a wheelchair, not on a gurney. Basically saying, not saying anything after this, please do not try to dox me, but last night after gave a count using a 24-hour time clock, they took him to medical in a wheelchair, front cuff, but not one triage nurse says they spoke to him. Next thing we know, a trip van shows up. We do not do release on the weekends unless a judge orders it. Next thing we know, he's put in a single man cell and hangs himself. Here's the thing, that the trip van did not sign in, and we did not record the plate number, and a guy in a green dress military outfit was in the back of the van, according to the tower guy who let him through the gate. You guys, I'm shaking right now, but I think this is a person allegedly that worked in the prison. Now, FBI investigation, which they never admitted this in the recent document drop, Epstein confirmed he was an Israeli spy. Read that, George.
No, say it ain't so, Lance.
Yeah. Read that right there if you can.
The one that's with the red?
Yeah.
Says Epstein was close to the former prime minister of Israel, Ehud Barak, and trained as a spy under him.
Now, that's an FBI report that's unclassified. That's a confirmation of everything that they've said wasn't true, that he wasn't some kind of an intelligence source.
But the FBI said he wasn't a spy for Mossad or the CIA. Bullshit.
Yeah. And listen, of course, I can only give you what's being circulated. Who knows what's been removed from the files? Nobody knows. But it gets even more interesting. They're trying to clean this up now. I don't know it's true. And let me say this again. There's been photos circulating. I don't know whether they're credible. I don't trust the AI on X to vet it, because who knows what's being done. A lot of this has got to do with the photos from Israel. This isn't the photo. There's a photo you've seen of Epstein, if you've been online at all, with long hair and a beard, and looks like he's having tattoo removal done on an arm because the tattoo's faded, but the tattoo's on the right arm. I don't know. I don't know what to believe of those photos. And they're saying, oh, it's a Gemini photo. It's this photo. It's AI. Maybe that's true, but maybe it's not, because here we are with a real relationship. We already knew Ghislaine Maxwell and her father had a relationship with Israel, because her father was clearly working with the Mossad. We've heard the stories about the submarine. Now in the Epstein folders, George, I don't know if you saw it, they've showed a doorway that goes down with a ladder into the water in one of the utility areas. And they're saying, is that where they would dock, the submarine? That Maxwell had a submarine captain's license. If you guys saw in the thumbnail, I was trying to be funny, and I put a submarine patch on her arm when she went to court. It was a joke. Clearly, it's not. I even put Fortnite on her computer, because the next thing I'm going to tell you is really interesting. So Epstein's email that they put out a list. The DOJ has put out a list. We're going to show you that list in a minute. It was linked to his Fortnite account. He talks about Fortnite in the emails. His username on his YouTube account was Little Saint Jeff 1. He used the same username on the video game Fortnite, and he was an avid player, showing frequent in the documents in-game purchases. So the Fortnite tracker shows his accounts reach silver, which is level 4 of 9 through 1, 2, 3 for bronze, silver, gold, respectively, in the game Chapter 5, Season 1. Chapter 5, Season 1 was released, guess on what date, George?
Which one? Chapter
5, Season 1 of the Fortnite game he was playing.
What, October 25th, 2014? Is that what I'm reading right?
No.
What document?
December 5th. Don't go to a document. Just stay put. December 5th, 2023. It ran until March 8th of 2024. I thought Epstein was dead.
Well, I would say it could be somebody else in his account. I'll say that.
Could be. Jeffrey Epstein's Fortnite account was playing from Israel in 2024. Somebody's tracked it back, showing he's playing in Israel 4 years after his death. Now, it confirms he was active on this account. Who's controlling the account? I guess we can speculate. On May 7th of 2019, he bought $26 worth of V-Bucks, $25.95. That document that George has on the screen is the document from the DOJ listing all of his internet-related email addresses. As you can see on there, Little Jeff's 1 or Little Jeff's at yahoo.com is on that email list. Now, there's lots of other details here, but if you look at Little Jeff's 1, thank you for your purchase of Frenzy from YouTube. You can see how that email is connected again there. So that's his. Here it is later again on May 7th, buying those Fortnite bucks. And then here's the account, the actual account on Fortnite, which is now, by the way, been made private. We'll show you that. There's Little Jeff's 1 there, little soldier and a little flag of Israel. Interesting connection there. Now, he was playing up until days ago. All this is circling. We've got a picture of the actual account. We've got a picture of the transactions where he's playing, or whoever this person is. And then guess what? After all this went viral, all of a sudden the account goes private. Now, you can still send friend requests to the account. I don't have a Fortnite account, or I'd send a Big Mig request. I'm sure he wouldn't let us join. Do you find it interesting at all that Lady Victoria, who was named in the documents, which I think she's unsavory in herself, don't think that I'm supporting this. She even says, I don't even think Jeffrey Epstein's dead anymore. Let's play that clip, George.
I don't even think Jeffrey Epstein's dead anymore, to be honest.
You don't think Jeffrey Epstein's dead?
No, I don't. I think he might be alive.
What would lead you to that conclusion?
I'd seen one of those emails, one of the ones that ended up in the files, and I think that prison guard needs to be interviewed. The one that he said he saw the bodies being switched out.
So your honest belief is that Jeffrey Epstein is alive somewhere?
I said it's not my honest belief, but I think it's a possibility.
Where might he be?
Israel, everyone is saying.
Now, I'm going to go on the defense of Donald Trump for a minute. I'm not defending the administration in different departments. I'm going to defend a lot of people who said that, he was friends with Jeffrey Epstein. Here he is in 2006. Donald Trump did not like Epstein or Maxwell. So under these newly unsealed court documents, it shows that Donald Trump called the Palm Beach police chief about Jeffrey Epstein in 2006, described Maxwell as evil and Epstein's operative. So for everybody out there say, "Oh, he was close friends with Epstein," this and that. Look, I think Donald Trump's very shrewd when it comes to the people around him, and I think he often, they say, keep your friends close, keep your enemies closer. I think that he's always paid attention to everybody around him in his proximity. He was never drunk or high, so you don't have to worry about him making a bad decision because of some kind of narcotics or alcohol. At the end of the day, I think he paid attention to a lot of people around him, and I think as a smart and shrewd business person, he was always trying to figure out the playing field, whether in New York or in Florida or otherwise. But this just proves once again that everybody out there going, "Oh, they were close friends, they were buddies," or bullshit. Not true. So there's a lot of questions. There's more questions than answers on the Epstein files and what's really showing up and what's been redacted and what intent the Department of Justice and the FBI really have. What is their real intent? Is their intent to equally apply the law, equal application of the law, the rule of law, to enforce it equally against all, or are there exclusions? Looks to me like they're making exceptions, George.
Exceptions, excuses? I mean, Lance, I said this to you over the phone. I think it was yesterday we were talking. And, Trump was reluctant to release a lot of these files because he didn't want to expose people. Well, I have to, I'm going to say this because it seems like who's close to Trump and has his ear? Bannon. Who's in the files? Bannon. Maybe he was a big influence on trying to keep those files out. That's possible. I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there. But, they got to stop protecting these people. I'm telling you, man. We're now coming into February. Midterms is coming in November. Fucking the Senate can't do diddly squat making excuses for the SAVE Act. We're fucked. Tell you right now, we're fucked. I said this years ago. I keep saying it. Only way anything's gonna get done is we the people. We have to disband this government and install a new one. Start over.
There's only one chance, and I'm going to say this very clearly, just in case anybody from the administration's listening. There's only one chance to win the midterm. There's only one possible opportunity.
No, there's more than, well, you need a couple things to happen, but go ahead. Let me hear what you got to say.
But my take is start making lots of arrests and start exposing everything. No more redactions, no more covering up. Doesn't matter whether you're a billionaire or a Hollywood celebrity or an elite or a global leader or a judge or Department of Justice or FBI. Start arresting a shitload of fucking people, congressional members and others that we know are guilty of crimes. Everything as simple as insider trading to cover-ups to attacking people through the J6 committee and otherwise. Start making those arrests. And if you make all those arrests and you expose the evilness of all the political figures in D.C., and I'm talking about both sides of the aisle, if you start making those arrests and you expose them to the American public, you might have a chance of winning the midterms.
No, that's not enough. So besides all those arrests, they need to fucking fix the voting, pass some new voting laws before the midterms, because we can make all the arrests. There'll be another line of Democrats waiting to cheat and steal and do all this stuff. Because the Democratic, that arm is big, it's strong, it's got a big war chest. And they, listen, they know what they're doing. They've been doing it for how long now? Along with Republicans.
I think that we need to start by instilling some fear in these individuals that have participated in election fraud, that have participated in covering up Epstein, that have participated in involvement, that have committed crimes that are on the books for statutes.
You need to get it all done, but
those arrests.
But you need to
I agree with you.
Listen,
you
need to get it all done, but time is of the
powerful
essence.
Weapon.
That's a problem.
Fear is a powerful weapon. Let's throw some fear around. Let's make it happen. And fear for legitimate crimes. Listen, the Big Mig Show is going to take a short break. When we come back, man, insane daylight robbery right out of the movies. You got to see this thing. Incredible. Stay tuned. We'll be right back with George Valentine, myself, Lance Migliaccio. That's how we do it, exposing the truth. We'll probably get banned for it. You never know. But hopefully we'll be here when you get back.
What else is new?
Are you ready to stand up for your community and support your local sheriff? Join the Constitutional Sheriffs and Peace Officers Association and become a vital member of the Sheriff's Citizens Posse. At CSPOA.org, we empower citizens like you through weekly webinars, arming you with the knowledge to back your constitutional county sheriff. Together, we can uphold our Constitution and ensure liberty and justice for all. Your community needs you now more than ever. Visit CSPOA.org and join the Sheriff's Citizens Posse today. Make a difference. Stand for freedom. That's CSPOA.org. Your country, your fight, your future.
What if you could predict your financial future? And what if you could trade on it? Introducing Block Trust IRA, the future in your hands. An astonishing 88,000 millionaires were created last year from the Bitcoin boom, and you could be next. Block Trust IRA is the only crypto management firm powered by AI-driven strategies, ranked #1 in the world by Bitcoin Magazine. The Block Trust IRA platform is built for everyone, from first-time buyers to seasoned investors. Predictive AI technology that was once only reserved for insiders and elites is now available to you. It's time to leave the old buy and hold strategies behind. Your assets are protected with military-grade security, offline cold storage, and $200 million in insurance. Visit BlockTrustIRA.com to book your free consultation and ask how to claim up to $2,500 in deposit bonuses today. Bitcoin changed the game. AI changes the strategy.
Hi folks, I'm here today to introduce you to the Prepper Bar from PrepperBar.com, the most unique precious metals product we have seen in a long time. These 62-gram bars are perforated and easily broken down into your choice of 3 different sizes to fit a multitude of needs. Whether it be from asset protection from inflation, economic turmoil, or its unique utility for barter and trade, the Prepper Bar makes a perfect gift for all the precious metal lovers out there. Exclusively made here in the USA and selling out fast. Available in both gold and silver, these slim Prepper Bars fit neatly in your wallet, and their utility enables use in any situation.
Forged through rigorous training and honed by the finest instructors on Earth, these canine units serve beside our nation's warriors as they fight to preserve what we cherish. When these warriors complete their duty, the Warrior Dog Foundation provides them with a home deserving of the service they've given us all. At our state-of-the-art kennels, they receive rehabilitation and care suitable for heroes, because that's what they are. Be a part of giving them a future today. Visit WarriorDogFoundation.org.
All right, welcome back to the Big Mig Show. Here we host Lance Migliaccio, George Valentine, the Big Mig Mafia in the chat, the Big Mig Army. If you're out there listening or watching, don't forget to hit the thumbs up button, like button, share, follow, and if you can subscribe, that red Big Mig Mafia button, $5 a month. Truly appreciate it. It helps us out with overhead and a bunch of stuff. So, you would think you'd be watching a movie right now. And this is, during the day, right in the highway, in Italy. Bunch of guys jump out of a van trying to rob an armored truck. Right in the day on a highway. Balls. I give Lance, these are balls. This attempted robbery.
You know what it reminds me of? Do you remember that video in LA where the guys get into that gun battle with AK-47s and they have body armor on?
Yeah.
You remember that years ago?
Yeah.
It kind of, I'm thinking these guys might have watched that video clip and thought, hey, let's do it like that. Because this is crazy.
I want to know how these guys didn't get away, though. They got caught.
And I think they might have overused the explosives on the van.
I think so too, bro.
Yeah,
I was going to say
they might have overdone it.
Watch this, guys.
Stanno rubando il furgone, guarda. Guarda, 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 guarda. Guarda. Hanno rubato il furgone. Guarda. Guarda. Cristo santo. Hanno fatto scoppiare in diretta. Guardali, 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 guardali. Guardali, guardali. Guardali.
Crazy. Insane.
Yeah.
All that for nothing.
And I'm not even sure about that explosion. I wonder how much money would have been left in the van after that. They might have overdone the explosives. All right.
I don't know, man, but I would have been gone. I wouldn't have stayed there.
Bad Bunny's Super Bowl halftime show. Everybody in the country is pissed off about it. They're acting like it was super popular, and they're trying to act like, oh, yeah, everybody loved the show. No, they didn't. They paid $6,000 to watch a bunch of guys dry humping on stage. There's more to it than even that.
Dry humping. They didn't even know what the fuck he was saying. It was in Spanish.
Well, and that's my point. There's more than meets the eye here. First of all, let's look at the crowd. They look very excited. Sure, there's a couple of people videotaping, a couple of Spanish people. But I think this was such a bad look. Not only are we going to find out in a minute where we're going to tell you that it was criminal.
Hold on, I'm going to play it. I'm not going to put the audio because we get copyrighted, but you can talk while it's going.
Yeah, so take a look at the crowd. George, does that look like a crowd that's enjoying the music?
No, I see one chick dancing to the beat. Okay, good. Look at everybody else. Looks kind of dead to me.
Yeah, $6,000 a ticket, and you get to listen to this. Now, here's the funny part. We have a sample of the. We're not going to play this. We can't play the next video, right?
No, we're not gonna. No, it's going to be
it's too
crazy.
bad. Funny video. All right, but here's the deal. Piers Morgan kind of screwed the pooch. He went out and supported Bad Bunny. Oh yeah, it was a great show, and like a total idiot. Turns out that Bad Bunny's lyrics violate multiple FCC laws multiple times. Now GOP lawmakers are calling for the FCC to take action. Will the FCC take action? I don't know. I don't think they do jack shit. Most of the time, they just wallow around and tell you there's these laws. They don't do it with social media influencers that get paid and don't acknowledge when they're being paid by sponsors. Why would they do it to Bad Bunny? But he definitely infuriated a lot of people. TPUSA stepped in and decided to hold their own halftime show. And I guess at least 25 million tuned in for that. Now, Piers Morgan out here giving Donald Trump a hard time. He's calling Donald Trump out for Bad Bunny. Now, these next set of lyrics are pretty disgusting, so I want to forewarn people.
We're not going to say the lyrics, Lance. Please don't say them because they're bad. We'll show them, but don't say them.
So, I'm not going to say it like it is, but it says, my D is being chased, and I want you to hide it. Grab it like a bonga. She took a pill that made her horny. She F's in the Audi, not in the Honda. If I give it to you, don't call me, because that is not to make you love me. If your boyfriend doesn't eat he better F off. Now, just so we're clear, radio and TV have lots of laws that the FCC is supposed to be enforcing, and I'm going to put it on them. If you guys don't enforce this, it's a bunch of bullshit. So right now, Congressman Randy Fine is calling on the FCC. So they let this guy go on air. They knew that this guy had nothing but these kind of lyrics in his songs. It's what he's known for. By the way, everything is done through auto-tune. He sings like shit. His lyrics suck. This is clearly a guy that's been propelled into the front. A lot of people say he's backed by the cartels, just, financially. This would include, if the FCC actually did their job, they would have to fine and go after the broadcast license to put it in review for the NFL, the NBC, and Bad Bunny. What Fine says is you can't say the F word on live TV. Bad Bunny's disgusting halftime show was illegal. He said these lyrics and all the other disgusting and pornographic filth in English on live TV. If he'd done it in English, the broadcast would have been pulled down. The fines would have been enormous. Puerto Ricans are Americans, and we all live by the same set of rules. We are sending Brendan Carr, and Brendan, I'm going to put you on the spot. Better get off your ass and do something about this, dude, because this is major. And if anybody else had done this, if the Big Ming Show had done this on our radio show, we would have been fined and potentially arrested. They've sent him a letter calling for this action to be taken, including these fines and broadcast license reviews against the NFL, NBC, and Bad Bunny. I say lock him up. I think if you're going to do this, first of all, I always thought it was a bad choice. This is a cross-dressing, degenerate. I know people like his music, but his music is garbage. There was a clip of him when the auto-tune wasn't working, and he can't sing at all. Without auto-tune, he's nothing. So he's not talented, and I think the NFL made a major mistake, and I think they should pay the consequences for their actions. Fines probably won't be enough to really put a dent in them, but how about some arrests? How about NBC losing their license? I think NBC is a shit network anyway. All right, George, let's talk about corruption in Atlanta. More corruption in Atlanta.
Yeah, what is going on? This is fucking crazy. It doesn't surprise me. Look, the FBI, once again, in the middle of it here. The FBI Atlanta chief, Paul Brown, warned Fulton County election officials about a coming raid and even shared a list of items agents plan to seize. Lance, is he still walking around? Is he being charged?
Nope, not that I know of. Supposedly he's been removed from his position, put on suspension while there's an investigation going on, but I haven't heard about any criminal charges. You heard about any criminal charges, George?
No, not yet.
Anybody in the audience heard about any criminal charges? This guy actually disclosed a sensitive FBI raid operation. Why is that's a crime? Just so you know, why isn't he being charged criminally?
What do they have, a memo? Is that a memo right there of him sending to the on the screen? It's hard to see.
I don't know. I couldn't really read it. I couldn't tell what it was. And the details of this, a lot of alt media covering it, but I don't see any major media covering it. Why? Probably because the FBI is trying to keep it under wraps. Now, here's one that I didn't know, George.
Wait, hold on. That's a letter. That's from him. So, yeah, that's him sending that letter or email to them.
Nice.
So, yeah, that exposes him.
Now, here's an interesting one. You kind of wonder why things aren't moving faster in Minneapolis, that more arrests aren't being made for the corruption. The head of the FBI in Minneapolis.
Wait, another FBI fucking agent? How many FBI? Oh, my God.
Yeah, the head of the FBI in Minnesota, listen to this, used to work for the Fulton County DA's office. So the FBI Minneapolis, Alvin Winston Sr., the special agent in charge of Minneapolis, before he joined the FBI, Winston was a homicide detective in Atlanta and the chief investigator for the Fulton County District Attorney's Office. So I guess what's he doing for investigating the fraud in Minneapolis? Is he going to make any effort? Or is he going to do like he did in Fulton County and not do jack shit? Well,
how do these people even get on the FBI? Once again, Lance, I'm going to show the video, but I can't play the music. But.
All right, just hang on a minute. Let me set this up for everybody. So anybody that has kids that are playing on Roblox, I found this the other day, and I just wanted to share it with these kids are based. Roblox, you can do programming, you can add different teams, you can create your characters. There's lots of flexibility in the platform. So these kids on Roblox decided to conduct their own immigration raids on other players. So they're running, they have come up with teams of ICE officers, and they are raiding other players' residences. That's pretty based. I got to tell you.
Yeah.
You got to admit, pretty funny.
Even though Roblox is a pedo place for pedophiles hunting around, but
yeah, it is. There is a lot of concern about that.
Kids off of there.
Yeah, might not be the best place to have kids, but of course, online gaming in general, that was always the plan, getting access to kids, teaching them how to spend inordinate amounts of money. It was an operation. Steve Bannon was involved in it. Morgan Stanley, lots of other companies decided, how do we get these kids to nonstop spending money? How do we get them to open up their wallets constantly? And they decided the gaming world was the solution. Not a great place to change your, train your kids on the real world. But of course, it is what it is. It's well ingrained in society right now. Difficult to move on. So, all right. Well, anyway, listen, if you like the show, you know the plan always here is to thumbs up, comment, share, and subscribe. If you can do the paid subscription, please do for the $5 a month. We'd like to grow those subscriptions. It's always helpful to get that money every month because we have bills that are ongoing for the shows. If you can do a Rumble Rant tip, we always appreciate those Rumble Rant tips during the show. And if you like the show, take the short form, take the long form, share it far and wide. We have one of the fastest growing shows on Rumble based on new followers. So you guys are helping. We appreciate that. Anything you can do to help us grow the show, post about us, tell people about the show, use your own social media to help grow the show. It's how we actually can fix the country and maybe expose the truth. George, you're laughing. What's up?
I don't want to say it on Rumble.
Okay, now don't forget, tomorrow morning, Crypto Power Hour, 7 a.m. We got a great show. We're going to be talking about some NFTs. Got a couple of great guests coming on. The #1 crypto show on Rumble, top 3 in the nation for crypto shows. So we're pretty excited about that. And of course, our regular show, Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard. You know where to find us. Check us out. Lots of great upcoming interviews. I've been booking interviews. We'll be telling you more about those in the next show.
All right. What's today? Tuesday?
Yes, sir.
It's fucking Taco Tuesday. Let's get there. Later.
I might have to let it drop. Said, got it through hella big, had the money, get like said, had the money.
Are you ready to stand up for your community and support your local sheriff? Join the Constitutional Sheriffs and Peace Officers Association and become a vital member of the Sheriff's Citizens Posse. At CSPOA.org, we empower citizens like you through weekly webinars, arming you with the knowledge to back your constitutional county sheriff. Together, we can uphold our Constitution and ensure liberty and justice for all. Your community needs you now more than ever. Visit CSPOA.org and join the Sheriff's Citizens Posse today. Make a difference. Stand for freedom. That's CSPOA.org. Your country, your fight, your future.
What if you could predict your financial future? And what if you could trade on it? Introducing Block Trust IRA. The future in your hands. An astonishing 88,000 millionaires were created last year from the Bitcoin boom, and you could be next. Block Trust IRA is the only crypto management firm powered by AI-driven strategies, ranked #1 in the world by Bitcoin Magazine. The Block Trust IRA platform is built for everyone, from first-time buyers to seasoned investors. Predictive AI technology that was once only reserved for insiders and elites is now available to you. It's time to leave the old buy and hold strategies behind. Your assets are protected with military-grade security, offline cold storage, and $200 million in insurance. Visit BlockTrustIRA.com to book your free consultation and ask how to claim up to $2,500 in deposit bonuses today. Bitcoin changed the game. AI changes the strategy.
Hi folks, I'm here today to introduce you to the Prepper Bar from PrepperBar.com, the most unique precious metals product we have seen in a long time. These 62-gram bars are perforated and easily broken down into your choice of 3 different sizes to fit a multitude of needs. Whether it be from asset protection from inflation, economic turmoil, or its unique utility for barter and trade, the Prepper Bar makes a perfect gift for all the precious metal lovers out there. Exclusively made here in the USA and selling out fast. Available in both gold and silver, these slim Prepper Bars fit neatly in your wallet, and their utility enables use in any situation.
Forged through rigorous training and honed by the finest instructors on Earth, these K9 units serve beside our nation's warriors as they fight to preserve what we cherish. When these warriors complete their duty, the Warrior Dog Foundation provides them with a home deserving of the service they've given us all. At our state-of-the-art kennels, they receive rehabilitation and care suitable for heroes, because that's what they are. Be a part of giving them a future today. Visit WarriorDogFoundation.org.